What is going on, everybody? It is Not a Penguin, and today I want to talk about your 20s. More specifically, why nobody actually tells you how to use them until they're basically gone. Because here's the thing that everybody says: your 20s are the best years of your life. Thanks, Gramps. I already fucking knew that. Nobody follows that up with any meaningful advice to actually help you get ahead of your peers. So you're always turning back to the internet to help you figure out your own life problems. But don't worry, I'm here today on the internet to help you figure out what you should be doing so you can look back when you're 30 and say, wow, I'm glad I didn't scroll on TikTok all fucking day. So in today's video, I want to break down 10 things I genuinely think that set you up for a better version of your 20s. Not the fake LinkedIn motivational poster stuff that says like rise and grind, none of that bullshit. Real, actionable, I wish somebody told me this at 22 instead of letting me find this out the hard way type of stuff. So let's get into it. Number one, build your emergency fund before you build your lifestyle. This one sounds boring. I know. Stay with me. There's a payoff at the end. The second a lot of guys get their first real paycheck, they immediately think they have just this unlimited amount of disposable income all of a sudden, and I just don't understand it. I'm a finance major, by the way, so just keep that in mind. New apartment, new car, they're door dashing like 4 nights a week because they earned it. And look, you did earn it. Nobody's taking that from you. But if you had one bad month, one car repair, or just like one surprise medical bill because you hurt yourself at the gym or something, that could wipe you out completely. Get 3 to 6 months of expenses saved just before you start balling out like you want to. You'll thank yourself later for when you run into issues because it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when. And if it's becoming an issue for you to like try and save money, I know you probably heard this before, but try and budget out what you see, what you spend every month, like bring out your credit card statements, your debit card, like everything where you spend money and lay it out and actually categorize all of your spending. And if you can break it down and see different areas where you can like reduce your spending, maybe you're just like realizing like, oh, I do this all the time. Like, why do I do that? Like, you don't realize maybe you're getting coffee 3 times a week. You're like, oh, I literally have coffee at home. I can just make more coffee at home. And boom, you can save like probably an extra 40, $50 a month or something and put that towards your goal. I'm just saying there's ways around it, and just don't count yourself out if it seems difficult at first, because trust me, I get it. Number two, learn to actually cook, not survive off cereal or whatever's in a bag in the freezer aisle. Like, actually cook. I'm not saying to become some guy who only cooks and never eats out. No, 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 no. That's boring, and that's actually a ton of stress. Fuck that. I would hate doing that. I'm saying get to the point where what's for dinner doesn't send you straight to an app on your phone. Start simple, mess it up a few times. That's genuinely part of the process. Burning food has taught more 22-year-olds a lesson quicker than any professor ever could have. Because between the delivery fees, eating your paycheck alive, and the fact that your body's going to start snitching on your diet, this one pays off in two different currencies: your wallet and your abs. Also, it's kind of embarrassing being like 27 and your signature dish is just spaghetti. Like, come on, dude. You can do more than put noodles and water and sauce in a pan. We can up our game here a little bit. And honestly, once you start to learn how to make better food, it's just more enjoyable, because then you can make new dishes, you can try new things, you can actually make good food at home. Then you actually start to like cooking. It's not so ass like it once was. No shade if that's you right now, though, making spaghetti. We've all been that guy at some point. Like, trust me, I was too. So but just learn to cook, learn a few dishes, and it'll set you up in a great way. And number three, stop collecting jobs like Pokemon cards and start collecting actual skills. There's a difference between switching jobs to grow and switching jobs because you're bored, your manager pissed you off, or Mercury's in retrograde, or whatever the hell I keep seeing on TikTok. I actually still don't understand that. But like every couple of years, employers are going to look at your resume and ask, okay, what did you actually get good at here? And if the answer is, well, I showed up, I got a paycheck, and I didn't get fired, that's going to be a real problem down the road for you, my guy. Pick a skill, stack it early. Something technical, something where you're people facing, or whatever fits your personality, really. Whether you want to try and learn a trade or content creation, or maybe going off to college to learn something more advanced. Just try and stick to one major thing to help you build your real skills. Just get qualified, get good, and get paid, brother. That's all you need. Number four, this one's going to be a little bit shorter, but travel while your responsibilities are still light. I'm not saying quit your job and go backpack Southeast Asia with $400 and a prayer like you see on the internet all the time. That's a different video. And that's also a great way to end up on a documentary about how a guy went missing in Asia. But your 20s are usually the only stretch of your life where you don't have a mortgage, a kid, or a dog that full on loses its mind if you leave for the weekend. Use that window wisely, because more likely than not, there won't be another time till you're much older and probably retired till you have this much freedom again. So take advantage of it while you can. Go see the things you want to see and travel the world a little bit. Just one trip, maybe two if you can. I'm not saying you have to go balls to the walls. Just go see one landmark that you've really been dying to see while you're young. Number five, learn basic car maintenance. I recommend this so highly so you don't get ripped off by mechanics or like take five when you go to get your oil change, because what they're charging nowadays is absolutely insane. The easiest way to do this is YouTube by far. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands of tutorials on there for every fix for every car model ever, I swear. There's also things on there how to learn like basics for your car, like checking your oil, knowing your tire pressure, how to jump a battery, and also how to like throw on a spare tire. This isn't hard stuff. It's like an afternoon afternoon of YouTube tutorials and maybe one skin knuckle when you're actually trying to do it for yourself. But the amount of people who ignore their check engine light for months, that's just a whole issue within itself, because that's how a $200 fix turns into a $2,000 not so funny story. You don't need to be a mechanic, you just need to be able to follow a YouTube tutorial and follow directions. Number 6, this one's a little bit different than the other tips I've been giving. This is more like relationship advice, but get comfortable being alone before you go looking for a relationship yourself. I'm not saying enjoying being alone, just be comfortable with it. If you can't sit down in a quiet apartment by yourself without immediately needing some sort of background noise to drown out your own brain, that's worth getting checked out, my boy. Just make sure you're happy with your life currently, not trying to handle too many things at once. Not because being single is some enlightened grind set thing, but because you will pick way better partners when you're not choosing somebody purely so you're not alone on a Friday night. Just think with your head, my boy. Number 7. This is honestly probably the most important one of the entire video, and I probably should have put it at number 1. Don't know why I didn't, but I must disclaim this is not financial advice. This is purely for education. Start investing something, anything, even if it's small. I do know a few things about this. Finance is my major in college, but again, this isn't financial advice. I know compound interest sounds like a lecture you've heard 100 times on YouTube before, but there's a reason for that. It is genuinely one of the cheat codes in the game that's actually legal. The 25-year-old who invests $200 a month ends up ahead of the 35-year-old who does the exact same thing purely because of time, not luck. Not some guy's chart on Twitter with 17 arrows on it telling you your P&L is up here. Just time. Start now, even small. Adjust the amount later once you're making more money because you're probably grown in your job a little bit. My biggest advice to you is just to see if your employer offers a 401k and start putting money away in there. And just start researching on your own, like what you can do for yourself, like IRAs and things like that. Just different ways you can set yourself up for success at a young age and really get ahead of everyone else and use time as your advantage because that's all you really have. Number 8, get off the comparison highway that is social media. Everybody's cousin is buying a house, somebody's friend just got a new job. Everybody's ex is now engaged, and someone's having a kid that you knew from high school. And meanwhile, you're eating cereal for dinner again, wondering what the hell you did wrong. And here's the truth, you're not behind. You're just watching everybody else's highlight reel and comparing it to your behind the scenes footage. Nobody's posting their credit card debt or their 1 a.m. panic spiral in the Target parking lot where they're crying. All of that stays behind the scenes. Just focus on what you do best and focus on what you can do to succeed because that's all you can really do. Don't worry about what others are doing. They're in their own life, they're in their own journey. Just focus on what you can do for yourself. Number 9, take the risk now while the stakes are actually low. Try that business idea, apply for that job that feels out of reach, move to the new city that you've always wanted to, even if it scares the fuck out of you. Because right now, if it doesn't work out, you can go back to your parents' couch for a few months, lick up your wounds, bandage yourself up, and try again with no real harm done. At 35 with a mortgage and 2 kids, that same risk isn't a stumble, that's a full-blown life crisis. The floor for you is lower right now than it's ever going to be in your life. Use that while you still have it to chase your dreams. And number 10, this is going to sound like your grandma's nagging you, but hear me out. Actually read something on an actual page that isn't in a caption under a 15-second video with like Subway Surfers on the side. I'm not saying to become some guy quoting philosophy at a party. Like, that's just lame. I'm saying our attention spans are cooked, like genuinely cooked. We've all opened the short form app for 2 minutes and then just sat there for 2 hours and then felt like we got hit by a truck once we finally realized what we're doing. Reading actual books, doesn't matter what kind, fantasy, biography, a book about sharks, whatever you like, rebuilds a muscle that scrolling actively destroys. And it gives your brain something to chew on besides whatever nonsense is trending this week, whatever bullcrap AI can feed you. And you don't need a reading list from some guy on the internet. You need one book that doesn't feel like homework, and then the next one gets easier. Just find something you like, scroll on Amazon, go on TikTok, look up good books for certain things you're interested in, and go from there. And I'm sure you can find some cheap ones online and just get started from there, or even just go to your local library. Now look, before anybody says it in the comments, I'm not saying to do all 10 of these perfectly starting tomorrow morning. That's just not how any of this works, and honestly, if you tried, you'd probably be burnt out by the end of August. Pick 2 or 3 of these that actually hit something for you while you're watching the video and start there. So real quick, let me leave you with a short version of everything I just rambled about for the last 9 minutes or so. Save before you spend, actually learn to cook instead of living off delivery apps, build actual skills, not just a longer resume. Travel while it's easy, learn enough about your own car so you're not getting fleeced or stranded, get okay with your own company, invest something, anything, even if it feels stupid or small or stupid small. Stop comparing your season 1 to everyone else's season 5. Take the risk while the floor is low, and pick up an actual book every once in a while so your attention span will thank you. Your 20s aren't going to feel figured out. Mine sure as hell don't, and not even close. And that's kind of the point. You're not supposed to have it all figured out and locked down just yet. Nobody actually does. They're all just faking it on camera that you see online. You're just supposed to be building something so when you get to 30, you don't have to tear it down and restart, cursing yourself out the entire time. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you're in your 20s right now, let me know which one of these hit the hardest. Genuinely curious to hear some of your stories if you're willing to share them. If not, I get it. Just leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Alô, galera! Vocês estão prontos?